各位贵宾早安，欢迎大家莅临由新媒体暨影视音发展协会举办的2025亚洲新媒体高峰会 Asia Hub New Media Summit。我是主持人匡宇。今年我们以 Resilience 韧性突围为主轴，围绕4大主题：台流转型、跨界共创、影视创新以及商模跃进，集结了国内外60位以上重量级的产官学界领袖以及专家，在2天的高峰会中高度浓缩内容产业的精华趋势，剖析新媒体产业的未来发展。今天是活动的第2天，在昨天的高峰会上，我们汇聚了亚洲新媒体产业的精英以及决策者，讨论了从台湾到亚洲内容的韧性以及创新、原创以及现象级作品的商业拆解。ACG 产业的突围与法务解方，以及运动娱乐经济的新蓝海，从中窥见新媒体的无限可能。而今天我们同样准备了非常丰富精彩的内容要跟大家分享。先提醒各位，今天将会有2场的英文议程，在报道处有口译机可以提供租借，有需要的朋友欢迎携带个人的证件前往租借，并且记得在离场前归还。今天一开始，我们将带领大家深入了解2025亚洲观影市场的纵观，从数位内容、串流平台、微短剧等流行影视音的趋势，在数据中探讨、分析，同时拆解产业策略以及创新的内容，如何能够实现收入多元的来源以及多样化，来观察亚洲新媒体的生态全貌。探索未来商机以及建议。今年我们非常荣幸能够邀请到 Mr. Adrian Tong。He's the Senior Analyst of Media Partners Asia。他将透过影片的方式跟现场的来宾来分享他所观察到的最新趋势。请大家看一下大荧幕。
Hello everyone, this is Adrian from Media Partners Asia. Can't believe this year has flown by so quickly. I'd like to thank the organizer, NMEA, for having me this year again.Today, I'd like to share with you some of our latest insights from latest research reports covering the online video and broadband industry, as well as the microdrama industry. So thank you all for joining my session once again.
So let's take a look at the future of screen entertainment in the Asia-Pacific region. Total screen revenue across Asia is on a clear upward trajectory.Starting from $124 billion in 2020, we project growth to $160 billion by 2025, and ultimately reaching a massive $177 billion by 2030. That's nearly a 43% increase over the decade, reflecting the region's explosive demand for content and evolving consumption habits. But perhaps even more telling than the headline numbers is a dramatic shift in where that revenue comes from. Back in 2020, television dominated the market with 66% share of all screen revenue. Online video was already significant at 30%. Now fast forward to 2025, we estimate television's share drops to 48%, while online video surges to 44%. Theatrical, mainly box office, climbs slightly to 8%.So we're seeing a true convergence with digital platforms rapidly closing the gap. And by 2030, online video holds the biggest share, capturing 53% share of all screen revenue. Television settles into a strong but secondary role at 40%. Theatrical holds steady at around 7%. So what does this imply? It means audiences and advertisers will continue to shift spend and wallets onto digital.They want content on demand, personalized, digital first, mobile native, and accessible anywhere. Let's shift our focus from revenue to reach, because to understand the true potential of the Asia-Pacific entertainment market, we need to look at the sheer scale of screens. Asia holds the largest number of screens in the world. As you can see in this chart, it shows the number of screens broken down by device.In 2015, Asia already had 2.7 billion screens in use, and by end 2025, we're projecting 4.5 billion. And the growth is overwhelmingly driven by smartphones and other connected devices, all part of the mobile-first ecosystem that defines how people in Asia consume content today. And by 2030, we expect that number to climb even higher to 5.4 billion screens, with mobile and connected TV contributing to growth. While traditional TV screens remain less significant, TV viewers are moving on to connected TV that bridges the traditional living room experience with the digital world. Active connected TV adoption is growing rapidly, boosting big screen engagement and monetization. This slide breaks down the evolution of APAC's video revenue, excluding theatrical, from 2020 to 30. Looking at the breakdown, FTA, once the backbone of video consumption, will continue a slow, steady erosion, dropping to 27 billion by 2030, a 2% CAGR decline as audiences move away from linear broadcast. Pay TV will also drop slightly to 44 billion, a 1% CAGR decline with cord-cutting trends. SVOD is growing steadily, expanding to hit 38 billion by 2030, a healthy 4% CAGR, and shows that consumers are willing to pay for premium on-demand content. Premium AVOD will grow to 13 billion, a 10% CAGR, and I will highlight more on a later slide on how premium streamers in the region are expanding on ad tiers, especially in markets like Korea, Japan, and Australia. And finally, UGC social video led by YouTube, TikTok, and Meta will expand 6% CAGR to reach 43 billion. Now, looking at the market split on the right, China alone will account for nearly half, or 45%, of all APAC video revenue in 2025. Japan will follow with 21%. Korea, India, Australasia, and Southeast Asia will each contribute around 8%. Taiwan and Hong Kong together will make up the remaining share. Now let's turn our attention to where the next wave of growth is coming from. Because while China and Japan are the biggest markets in Asia, the real momentum over the next 5 years is being driven by two countries, mainly India and Indonesia. This chart shows the projected 5-year growth for video industry revenue, once again excluding theatrical, from 2025 to 30. So India leads the pack at 6.4% CAGR, the highest in the region. Indonesia follows closely at 6%. Growth in these two markets are driven by rapid mobile adoption, increased connectivity with a large base of young digital native population consuming content, and with rising disposable income to drive spend on premium entertainment. Australia and Philippines, Thailand, and New Zealand also show healthy growth in the range of 2 to 3%. And we also have the more saturated, slower growth North Asia markets like Taiwan, Korea, Japan, and China, growing between 1.5 to 1.8%. Looking at online video revenue by key markets, Australia is a 6.7 billion market with SVOD dominance at 42% share, led by Netflix, Prime Video, and Disney+. Warner Brothers Discovery's Max also launched service in the country this year. China leads scale with 33 billion in online video revenue, with popular microdramas driving growth. China is nearly 3 times larger than the second largest market in Asia, which is Japan. Japan is a mature, balanced market, 45% SVOD, 44% UGC, and 11% premium AVOD. India's online video revenue will reach 5.2 billion, 73% from advertising and 27% from subscriptions. Jio Hotstar is now a freemium powerhouse, capturing 48% of the 2.3 billion premium video segment. Indonesia, 1.8 billion market, 63% of revenue coming from UGC, led by YouTube and TikTok, and driven by rising connected TV engagement, especially for YouTube. Korea's online video market will reach 4.7 billion, split between UGC and premium VOD almost evenly. The TVing Wave merger, conditionally approved by Korea's regulator FTC in June, will create a domestic streaming powerhouse to challenge Netflix dominance in the market. And for Taiwan, we estimate the market will reach 1.2 billion, split among UGC at 46%, 41% SVOD, and 13% premium AVOD. Growth is driven by rising connected TV adoption, which enhances big screen access to premium content. Within SVOD, Max is scaling rapidly after 1 year's launch and rebrand, supported by Taiwan Mobile Partnership and competitive pricing. Next, we want to share some latest developments behind some of the key streamers in the region over the past 12 months. As you can see here on this slide, premium platforms in the region continue to increase prices, not all at once, but by tier and by select markets to expand ARPU. Notably, Netflix raised prices on premium packs in Japan, and in Korea, raising prices on standard with ads. Disney Plus raised standard prices in Australia and also in Taiwan. Prime Video increased standard pricing in Indonesia, and Viu raised premium prices in Malaysia. In August, Netflix made its first major sports investment in Japan by securing the exclusive streaming rights to the 2026 World Baseball Classic. It will stream all 47 games live and on demand at no extra cost. This marks Netflix's first foray into live sports broadcasting in the country. The move aligns with Netflix's broader global strategy to diversify beyond scripted content and boost subscriber acquisition and retention through high-impact live events. This is a major step for Netflix Japan to compete more directly with established sports-focused platforms in Japan like DAZN, Amazon Prime Video, which holds the MLB, Major League Baseball, and tennis rights, and Unext, which carries EPL, as well as Lemino, which recently offers NBA since October. Another interesting trend I want to highlight is in Korea, with major streamers like Netflix, TVing, and Coupon Play now shifting strategies, expanding ad-supported tiers to attract price-sensitive audiences and diversify revenue streams. Netflix's recent growth in Korea is driven by the Naver Plus bundle introduced in Q4 last year, which offers ad-supported standard plan free to Naver members. This low-friction acquisition channel has proven highly effective for Netflix. For TVing, even though there's some subscriber dilution from expanding ad tier, the platform is expanding distribution with SK Telecom and offer discounted joint double pass with Wave, offsetting the loss of Naver Plus membership funnel. Internationally, TVing is also expanding via branded content deals and a co-branded hub on Max in Southeast Asia and later in Taiwan, launching early 2026, powered by its Warner Brothers Discovery partnership. Since the second quarter, Coupon Play is now pivoting to AVOD expansion, targeting price-sensitive users outside of its lifestyle memberships branded WOW, W-O-W, with a free ad-supported tier. And to lift ARPU, it introduced Sports Pass, a standalone or WOW bundled premium add-on. One additional trend I want to highlight is the emergence of a new format, microdramas, that are reshaping video consumption across Asia, especially in China. We can think of microdramas as the soap operas of the smartphone era, with bite-sized, bingeable, emotionally addictive, and engineered for maximum engagement. So who's watching these formats and why? Microdramas are fragmented and easy to consume. Each episode runs typically 1 to 3 minutes, with titles spanning 20 to 100 episodes. They're perfect for commutes, lunch breaks, or late night scrolling because of the fragmented format. The first 10 to 15 episodes are usually free, and afterwards you pay to unlock the rest, often just a few cents per episode. And because each episode usually ends on a high emotional beat, users will return again and again, generating stickiness. There's a high propensity to pay for these formats, especially in China's lower tier cities, which creates a massive scalable revenue engine. Themes are usually fast-paced, punchy, and emotionally charged. And romance genre remains popular, but we're seeing expansion into other genres like crime, thriller, and even historical drama, tailored to specific niche. So who's watching? What we found is the core audiences are mainly female, aged 25 to 50, especially in China, and over 60% of these viewers are female audiences. But at the same time, we're seeing strong traction among men, aged 25 to 45, and increasingly seniors above the age of 50 years old, who cater to family-centric themes, and even younger audiences increasingly favoring niche with genres beyond romance. We recently released an in-depth report on microdrama industry covering China and other key global markets, particularly US, Japan, Korea, Latin America, Brazil, Southeast Asia, India, and Middle East. Our latest research shows that within China, microdrama is already mainstream, exceeding domestic box office revenues. There are about 830 million viewers, 500 million paying users, and nearly 10 billion in revenue. The format has become a new pillar of the digital economy. The microdrama ecosystem will continue to expand within China, and we forecast the domestic market will top 16 billion by 2030. China remains the global blueprint for microdramas, serving as the innovation hub and global export engine for the format. On a global stage, outside of China, we estimate the microdrama format will have explosive expansion potential in the next few years. We estimate the global microdrama monetization, excluding China, will reach 2.7 billion this year, driven largely by early adopters in the US, North Asia, Southeast Asia, and parts of Latin America. And by 2030, we estimate the global opportunity outside of China will expand more than 3 times to reach 9.4 billion. So broadly, while China is still the largest market, the format has traveled well across overseas markets like the US, which is the second largest in terms of microdrama monetization, followed by North Asia markets, Southeast Asia, and Latin America. Some of the key platforms leading the global microdrama space include Real Shorts, Drama Box, leveraging on short production cycles and innovative technologies, including AI, social rails, which we discuss a lot more in depth in our report. So why is this important? Because for creators, platforms, and advertisers, this is where the next wave of growth is happening, on the small screen in the palm of your hand. If you would like to find out more about our microdrama report or any other research reports, feel free to reach out to me or my colleague here with the email details shown. Here's more information about our company. I hope this session was informative, and thank you all again.
Thank you, Adrian.